Hello guys and welcome back to Weston Super Mare. I am Ben. How you doing, Josh and Sam? It's been a little while. Let's take a look at the fixtures that we've been playing recently and see how things are going. Now, we've had some frustration. This season is not going to go like last season did, just FYI. So last time we were around, we lost 3-1 to Chelsea. We then played Leicester, where Mads Pedersen got the only goal as we won 1-0. We then travelled away to Parma in the Champions League and won 3-0, 2 goals from Christiansen, 1 from Matskiewicz. That set us off well in the Champions League. It was very nice because obviously the big games in this group are against Real, so we have to win big in the other games to try and hopefully outdo them on goal difference should that come around to it. We then played Stoke. Boris Abdallah scored, but they equalised and we ended up drawing 1-1. Very frustrating. We then had an absolutely pathetic result. 2-1 away win in the League Cup third round against Championship side Torquay. We had Abdallah sent off. Daniel scored a 103rd minute goal. But we, statistically we dominated them. So, it's frustrating in that we just couldn't finish. We were so profligate without finishing our chances, but otherwise it was not a bad result. And then we drew Bradford City in the next round of the Cup. We then humped Wolves 6-0. Georgie Cunningham scored 4. And obviously Spencer and Torres scored. Torres, finally, by the way, back amongst the goals, scored against Torquay, scored against Wolves. He then got 2 against Maccabi Tel Aviv, which was a very good game. We won 5-1 at home. That didn't we were top of the Champions League group after a 3-0 win at Parma. We then beat Maccabi Tel Aviv 5-1 and dropped to second because Real Madrid beat Parma 8-1 or something like that, or maybe 8-2, and so are now ahead of us on goal difference. We had another frustrating 2-2 draw. Another frustrating draw, 2-2 away at Sunderland. They had a player who scored once. Oh no, was it him that scored against us for Stoke? Yeah, Rick Lucic scored against us once in a very annoying game against Sunderland. So he's always coming back to haunt us no matter where he is. Meunier and Pedersen getting the goals. And then against Everton, we won comfortably at home. Christiansen, who's been complaining about not being part of the first team, even though he's been playing, as you saw. And George Cunningham getting the goals there. Oh, God, sorry, it's early in the morning. Just to give you a very brief overview, if we look at the squad, for the club facilities now, we have good youth facilities, which is amazing. That's very, very, very important for us. And also our training facilities will soon be average, at which point I will request them to be improved. The board have been very receptive to all of my things recently. I got them to upgrade the youth recruitment as well, so now we have an average youth recruitment network, which is good, because that's actually a pretty decent one. I think it doesn't have too many more levels above that. Good, very good, excellent and world class, it might be, I think, or maybe not good, very good. It might just be good. You might not have an excellent in there. It might be good, very good, world class, but whatever. We've also signed a couple of new coaches and a couple new physios, meaning that our squad's training and the staff behind the team are decent. But yeah, they won 8-3, and so they're top of the Champions Group stage group by dint of the fact that they scored 3 more goals for us, which is just stupid. Anyway, and briefly, our exploits in the Premier League leave us 5 points off the top. Arsenal are having a sensational start to the season, haven't lost yet. They scored a dirty number of goals, and we need to hope that other teams do the job against them, and also that we can do the job against them. Big test of our credentials will obviously come after this game when we play Manchester City. So let's take our first step against Real Madrid. This is at the Woodspring, so we have the slight advantage according to the papers. Got a lot of players around and about the squad. We've got a lot of players who are injured or suspended or ineligible because of the way the squad works. I decided I would specifically give certain players chances in the Champions League groups. Let's see how much that comes back to haunt us. Where's Mounier? Okay, so we haven't actually... it's because I've been playing Mehmet Saleh Yilmaz in the previous games on the left, forgetting that we would also have to play Real Madrid. Okay. I'm so sorry. So professional. Mads Pedersen. We're going to put Boris Abdallah into the team. Majkovic. And oh yeah, so Zatuni is now back fit, but hasn't played for a couple of games. I'm going to go like this. Yeah, so he'll come on the left for Dania. Yeah, that's fine, because we're going to qualify from the group anyway, so it doesn't really matter, I guess, if we come second or first, because last season we came first and then we had to play Real Madrid and Barcelona in the knockout stages, so it's not like we had an easy run after that. I don't know why I just said assertively go out and impress me, as if we should be expecting to win this game, but let's see what happens. I think I started with Christiansen up front as well, which is not necessarily the best of ideas. Oh, good save. I've decided that I remember I went back and listened to the last episode, and I said I would play this, and if it doesn't go well, or if it's still kind of interesting, we'll also play the next Real Madrid game. But I think I make too many videos per season. Means that people can't always keep up. I know Sam keeps up, but Josh finds it difficult. So I think what I'll do is do more, or do less videos with more kind of picking out the interesting points. Like, for example, the fact that Leroy Fair is the Wolves manager and is already under fire for his job after only about 8 games of the season or something like that. Maybe is it not even quite 10 games in the season yet? Leroy Fair about to be fired. I've also made a pledge for Lewis, if he's watching, that when and if and when, because it will happen, Tranmere get back into the leagues, I will take them over as a new manager and return them to at least the Championship, but maybe even try and take them back to the Premier League. And by back, I mean to the Premier League, for a bit of interest and just to sort of mix things up a little bit. Okay, so we're not doing too bad. Real Madrid. Oh, Real Madrid. Christiansen. Oh, that's a very poor finish. You can't complain that you're not playing in the team if you're going to finish like that, mate. Garcia Vaz. So if you remember last season, we won 2-0 at home and lost 2-1 away. I was just doing my homework on the results before I started the match, to try and see what our record is against them. We've obviously won 1 and lost 3, it turns out, in our 4 meetings with them. Christiansen scores at home against Real Madrid. That is a great goal for the young lad. He's only 21, but I looked at him earlier on. Sam had in a comment sort of praised him and said he's looking good. I looked at his stats. He hasn't improved as much as I'd like, but he is definitely he's getting there for sure, and he's only 21 still, so there's still got time, still got a room to manoeuvre. And I've been upgrading the youth facilities and youth training and also the normal training. Particularly noticed that we hadn't got I specifically noted that we didn't have very good aerobic and fitness training, or rather specifically training focused at aerobic statistics wasn't very good, which means you just need another player with the fitness coaching ability. So I got a new coach with that focus, and that's improved now. So hopefully our players will continue to develop their physical stats as well as they do their technical and mental stats. Abdallah to Christiansen. He scores again, but it doesn't count. Also, thing to note for last month, so I can't remember what month we're in now. It must be October? Must be either August or October. September or October. But anyway, for 1 month, we got all 3 of the top goals of the month. Christensen, Abdallah. It was it was beautiful. So that was a nice little achievement, although it didn't actually get me an achievement. I thought it would, but I think you have to have the same player score all 3 to get an achievement, which is super like random. It's not like you can really do anything about that. Christensen. So that's why it's a bit of a weird achievement, because it's not like you can really do anything to influence that other than just sign good players. But I've done that. I've been manager of this club for 15 years. I've played the game for nearly 1,000 hours and it hasn't happened yet. So we'll see. We hold a well-earned break, and that is certainly true. We have looked the better team. They haven't really threatened us that much. I'm going to say I'm happy. I'm going to keep doing the passionate thing, although we have had a spate of red cards. Particularly irritating is the Torquay game, where I had been experimenting, because I assumed it would be a little bit easier than it ended up being. I was experimenting with a new approach where I was watching the motivation of the players on the other team, and then doing things like, so we're noting that Boya there is looking in danger of losing discipline, and so in that game what I was doing, if someone was showing a negative trait like looking nervous or something like that, I would change their, let me just pause it, tease that, I don't know what's going to happen there. I would go into the opposition instructions, note what Boya is his instructions were. So he's losing, what was it, that he's about to lose his rag or something like that. So we're showing him onto his weaker foot, hard tackling. That means then I would have also put closing down always on him, and just confirm, and then just like try and get it in his head. Anyway, that would have been nice, but of course because I paused it, that's definitely why that didn't happen. There he is. He's missed. That is good to know. 62 minutes in, I'm going to start considering making a change. Oh, rest repos. See what we've got here. Daniel looking tired, so let's bring on Mehmet Yilmaz. And for now, let's make that the only change we've made. Some noises going on outside. Haven't been in the house for a couple of days because I've been working from the office, and then I went out on Thursday night, and me and a friend from comedy ended up doing like an impromptu gig in a bar, which was a little bit of a surprise, but fun. And by gig I mean music gig. He can play guitar, so he was playing guitar, and we were sort of having a little sing along with about 4 or 5 people who just randomly came in to watch. So I wasn't back during the daytime when people might be doing heavy building work, which I have been for the last month because of stupid shifts. But obviously now it's the weekend again here, and I think on Saturday there is no rest for whichever wicked soul is working on the new car park near where I live. I assume it's a car park, because I can hear that someone is doing something again, which is absolutely bloody typical, but fine. Next week I have more. Oh, Cunningham, great save from Frisina. 1-0 win against Real Madrid. I'll take that. Bayonne. Oh, you can't be in two minds in that kind of situation. Montignelli. Christiansen. 3 minutes of injury time. Come on. Uh-oh. Who was injured? Didn't say. Didn't have to come off, so that's alright. And they don't have the little injured logo, so they're not that injured. Okay, so, fairly comfortable victory over Real Madrid, really, in the end. We did them all, even in possession, which is not something that you can usually say about us. Christensen. Mehmet Yilmaz. Cunningham. Oh my god, an ambitious effort from 35-40 yards. Pedersen now on the wing. Crosses. No one's there. Cunningham was a full minute late when he came in there. A deserved victory. Christiansen gets us the goal. Georgie Cunningham gets man of the match. Very nice work. So that puts us top. We now have the next game against them is in a couple of, I think it's 2 games time. So that'll be an interesting one. Nice. Now, we really do need to win this game against Jubes. We really do need to win this game against Manchester City, because if we don't, our title hopes are almost certainly over already. That would put us at least, well, I mean, assuming Arsenal win in their fixture of the same round, that would put us 8 points off. And whilst there's a lot of time to make that up, it doesn't make you feel great about it, does it? There's a great Polish player who plays for Lech. Is it him? No, it's not him. But I tried to sign him, agreed to sign him, but didn't have enough money. Yeah, Leroy Fer, Wolfsbach, Egypt. And I tried to sign him, but wasn't able to because I didn't have the funds. Because despite winning the was it a quadruple or a quintuple last season, I was given £9 million to spend. Ebbsfleet have fallen away. I was just going to come down and show you. Carlos Tevez is Ebbsfleet. They were second. They've obviously lost a few games in a row now, but they're doing well. Keep it up, Carlos. Get them promoted. Become one of the legendary managers we know you could be. Lowestoft Town versus Altrincham in the third qualifying round of the FA Cup. Big glamour tie. Porto beat Juventus in the Champions League. Nice work, lads. That's not... Oh, Kane, not Kana. Sorry, Kana, not Kane. I thought that said Harry Kane had just scored for for Tottenham. Chelsea, for God's sake, sorry. Wingate and Finchley. Not half. The St Kitts and Nevis. Oh, I saw. So you know all the like. Is it Caribbean nations or possibly the nations from Oceania? I can't remember, but anyway, they have like a little kind of inter-nations cup called the Gold Cup or something like that. And the manager of the Cook Islands, it came up with a message saying the manager of the Cook Islands leaves after a strong showing in the most recent Gold Cup. And I looked, and they drew 2 games, and then were knocked, which was enough to qualify from their group. And then they were knocked out 2-0 by like some other random little island in the first round. I was like, oh yeah, so 2 draws, a loss, and then a loss in the knockout stage is a good tournament for the Cook Islands, is it? Considering that the rest of the teams are also of their level, it's not like they're playing in the European championships or anything like that. They're playing against teams of their level, and they drew 2 and then and lost 2. I mean, it's pathetic in my opinion. Okay, Emblom is fit and able to play again after having been suspended like a mug. Let's bring him in. I don't think Jon Maz is really the way we should be going here. I think we should be Mounier-ing here. Now, Kotnik as well on the right would probably be a good idea, or at least have him on the bench. So let's go Pedersen off. Christiansen, because he's played well, I'll let him start. I'm going to bring Zatuni on, or Torres. Torres, is like I said, has been playing very well, so I'll definitely be letting him get a run in the side. Otherwise, things are looking pretty fine. I think we'll go like that. What's our bench looking at? Torres, Zatuni, Kotnik, Machkovic. Daniel Spencer, Engblom. Yes, okay, except I want Soto. Do I want Soto? No, I'm going to allow this guy to play because he played against Real Madrid. I've been playing obviously him in the Champions League and Soto mainly in the Premier League, but occasionally giving Al Salaiti a chance to play during the Premier League when he can do. Yeah, we don't have enough English players. Even though I haven't sold anyone, I didn't think I sold very many players at all over the summer. But we suddenly don't have enough players, or we have too many players to fill the squad cap with that are not that haven't trained in the club for long enough, and either aren't English enough or haven't trained in England for long enough either. And so it's a little bit of a, you have to leave spaces in the squad, and I had to try and work out where I could save certain spaces for certain players to try and make sure that the whole squad got a game. So that's what I've done, and that's why we are where we are. But occasionally I think give Al Salaiti a game in the Premier League as well, because otherwise Soto will end up with 40 appearances and Al Salaiti will end up with 10, and he's younger and needs more games at this point. And anyway, they're both very capable goalkeepers, so it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Now then, Georgie Cunningham. Oh, good save from Tomasz. The last game of the last Premier League season was against Manchester City, where we won 1-0. I believe Cunningham scored a little tap-in inside the box in like the 70th minute, just to really cement our place at the top of the Premier League at the time. Hopefully now we can use this as a springboard to go on and start trying to drag Arsenal back. Yeah, I mean either us or City, and City have already been beaten something like 6-0 by Arsenal, so like it seems odd that they would be the closest challengers, really. Oh, that's some great little bit of football. De Menezes, Neymar. They're still playing Neymar. Man, he's 34 or 5 now, and slow. Like, he's not quick anymore. Maybe he's not super slow, but he's not quick anymore, certainly. Now, I don't want to do anything like jinxing things, but since they've signed Watts, they've not beaten us and possibly haven't even scored against us. So let's and certainly Watts hasn't. I remember he specifically did score one, but it was ruled out for offside, which I thought was classic Watts last season. So let's hope that run can continue. Kyrgios, Fratus, Vuljevic. Watts now. Oh, here we go. Gets an assist for a pensionable Neymar. Meunier. Oh, it looked like it was going in. Neymar fouls instead of Fitzgerald. That's nice. Engblom has been getting so many red cards. I was checking because I was sure that it really feels like our discipline has got worse, but I think it's just that they're getting more straight reds because Mbele every season would get like 15 yellow cards. I was checking. I looked through our records. I might have done that on camera. I can't remember. But yeah, he picked up yellow cards for fun. And I think that they don't actually get as many yellow cards now, or it doesn't feel like they do, or I can't remember if that's borne out statistically. It's just they seem to get more reds, and that's annoying. Maybe it's just oh my god, are you going to injure all my squad? Elias now injured as well. Bring on Kotnik then, that's fine. We've got replacements, mate. We've got decent replacements. Oh, good finish from Kikabidze. That was a very good finish as well. Should have gone with experience in goal, maybe. That's questionable. It's that ball out wide. Montiel playing very poorly there. Kotnik coming on anyway. Maybe that can spark us into life in the attacking sense. We've got Zatuni back on the pitch for the first time in a little while. He's already described as being in sensational form. I think he scored in the first game or something like that, and he scored 4. Or didn't he score against Chelsea in the Super Cup? Anyway, he's got 4 goals in however many appearances he has actually made, and that has meant that the media think he's in sensational form. Oh, for goodness sake. Fitzgerald being beaten at the back post, that's not beaten in the air. It's not how it works here, right, lads? Bayon is playing terribly, so we'll bring on Engblom just to shore things up. Let's not try and concede another 3. Let's just try and work our way back into this. Well, we'll win the Premier League this year, lads. Let's try and win another cup. I do not like ending seasons without winning anything. Cunningham, Makubri, Montignelli. Might be time to give Figueira a run in the game, running the team, because Montignelli. Oh, Makubri, for goodness sake! Oh, I hate it. I absolutely hate it when games play like this. Makubri. I daren't look at the stats because, yeah, of course, it's very even. Standard Football Manager. What the hell was that? Why didn't you play it out in front? He had all this space to play into. Why didn't you play it out in front of him? 2 goals in, what's that? Does it tell us? No. 2 goals in about 10 minutes, I'd say. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Zatuni, Fitzgerald, Abdullah, Zatuni, Makubri, Meunier. See, we play the ball around well. Meunier, great ball. Ay, where was anyone? Poaching, that's... Oh, okay. poaching. That's literally where you're supposed to be, is in that gap, waiting for the ball. Corner kick. Mounier, Restrepo, back post, heads over the bar. Had a lot of off-target shots. Just mix all the words together. Offshore. Oh God, I am tired. Oh, Teixeira. Oh my goodness me! Could have been 3-0. And okay, we're playing away, but like last season, I think we've already lost. If we lose this one as well, which I assume, oh, for God's sake, that's so frustrating. Yeah, if we lose this one as well, we'll have lost one less than we did last season in the entirety of the league. So maybe we'll have to just win the Champions League for a third year in a row or something like that. Oh no, Jonathan Demenesis, Karic. Oh, these guys have no, what's... Oh, yes, he's an idiot. Oh, well, there's always some light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, Billy Watts, mate, you mug. Now, see, two losses, you know, alright, it's early in the season, but 2 losses in any other flipping year wouldn't seem so catastrophic, but because Arsenal haven't even lost yet, it does make it a little bit of a problem for us. We really needed that win as well. We'd have been 2 points behind them with the game in hand. If they had lost, we'd have been right in there. But now we are 5 points behind them, and they have a game in hand. And yawning and yawning and yawning, and never stop yawning. Always be yawning. A German player called Beer has scored for St. Pauli versus Wolfsburg, which is very fitting. And they won, of course. Oh God, it's going to be one of those years. Have Arsenal won it since the game started? No, they haven't. They did come runners up to us last year, and they came runners up a couple of times, but they haven't ever won it since 5 to 6 days. That's okay. Don't tell me that. I mean, I know that. That's why it's annoying. But don't tell me that. Zdravko Gang is playing very well for Stevenage, even though Stevenage are not doing great. And Hyo Junior was injured in one of his first games for Chesterfield, but has now turned it around and is playing with a decent rating, so that's nice. Anyway, guys, that was the end of that episode. I will look at the fixtures now. We've got to play Bradford City next in the League Cup. Hopefully that will go well. Let's reconvene for one of our occasional rubbish team videos. 2 away games, away to Maccabi Tel Aviv and away to Bolton Wanderers. Let's meet up again there. See you later then, guys.